Welcome to a prehistoric monster-sized episode as we begin our new season with the start of Sharktember. Yep, we're doing a whole month of shark movies, starting with the latest big shark movie, The Meg.
That's right. Welcome to Mike's Camera Action. And Alex, what have I done?
I don't know, you've let me have too much control.
Yeah.
Way too much control.
I picked out like, oh yeah, you know what'd be a good idea for the start of our season? Let's go back to doing like another recent release. Like we started the show with Solo. Let's do The Meg. And then we thought
I hadn't heard of The Meg before you mentioned it.
Which is shocking. It's right up your alley.
Yeah, I was
like it's
really
got Jason
annoyed
Statham,
that I hadn't heard of it.
It's a giant fucking shark.
I really do like Jason Statham too.
I like Jason Statham as well. But yeah, it's shocking that you didn't see it. And then I was like, oh, we've been talking about like doing themed seasons or themed months, which I think themed months are going to work out, and we're going to go forward with that over the next couple of months. Starting with Sharktember, of course.
Yeah, we're starting with Sharktember.
This is the Mike's Camera Action equivalent of Shark Week, and I'm so happy.
Yeah, Shark Week, Shark Month.
Yeah. So I said, like, let's do this one. And then Alex got carried away, and next thing I know, I've signed up for a month of all out of my hands.
Man, I had an entire season, and then you told me to calm it down.
Yeah,
there were way a lot of
Alex
shark
gave
movies.
me 10 weeks worth of like, hey man, we could do like 10 weeks of Deep Blue Sea themed Blue Sea themed of like movies, and I was like, yeah, no one's gonna watch this for 10 episodes. Let's keep it to 4.
Well, I hope no one watches this. This is an audio podcast.
They're watching us right now, Alex. Can you? I want to play around with a little idea here. Can you, in your as best as you can, describe what is The Meg?
The Meg is pretty much Jason Statham fighting a big shark.
Which is exactly what I expected. I think the way... But, like, also this movie, and this is the part that I didn't know about going into this. Like, I expected Jason Statham fist fights a giant shark, which I got exactly that.
I didn't think he ever fist fights
He kind of does fist fight it right at the end.
Yeah,
like, he rides on that thing,
rides
punches it a few times, and then sticks a spear in its eye.
Yeah, every Australian knows that if you want sharks to go away, you just punch them in the nose, right?
Exactly, yeah. You hit him in the nose, gouge him in the eye, like go for a soft spot, poke him in the gills.
Yeah, don't actually try and punch sharks in the nose, because that's where their mouth is, and so they bite.
If you can get, like, if you're on top of it, you can go a couple
just like
the
banging the nose, I think helps. But I also remember reading that it's advised you not try that,
not try and punch it because that's where the teeth are.
Yeah.
But another good way to put this is, and this is the way I've been describing it to a few people. If you've ever seen that one joke in Family Guy where Peter pitches his screenplay for Big Jaws, and then the sequel, Way Bigger Jaws. Yeah, this is both of those movies at once. Big Jaws shows up, they kill Big Jaws, then Bigger Jaws shows up and eats Big Jaws.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I want to talk about this. The movie kind of ends.
Yeah.
And they kill the big shark, and like all this drama happens, and it's like, oh wow, the movie's over. Like I think I checked my watch at one point, and I realized, I've been here for an hour, and they just killed the shark.
Yeah, it's like, isn't this a 2-hour movie?
Yeah, it's like, hang on, this feels a little quick, and then just a second giant shark shows up and eats the first one. That's it. Just takes a bite of him, knocks the ship over.
Yeah, knocks the ship over.
Swallows a dude whole by accident.
Is that Wall?
I don't remember his damn
the beard
name.
dude?
Yeah, beard dude who says that prehistoric fossil ate my friend and doesn't mean it like a joke in any way.
Yeah.
He says that with a straight face, and I don't know how.
Yeah. But yeah, no, there was a bit of, Bigger Jaws was indeed in it. Yeah, that's actually a good description of it.
Just Big Jaws.
I kind of liked the idea behind it. I found it interesting, like the whole, like, Megalodons still exist, but they exist, like, at the bottom of the ocean in this weird place.
What'd you think of the premise for like that opening where you've got the deep sea research facility, and the explanation for the megalodon is there's like what is it? It's like a cloud of
sulfur
vapor
dioxide. So it's because it sits there. It's a bit heavier than the water, but probably like more buoyant than the cold water. It would sit there, and so it'd create like a thermal cloud that like sea creatures can't go through because it's too cold.
Yeah, so it's basically like this freezing cold like blanket over the seafloor, so that the megalodon and a whole bunch of other undiscovered species can live in this space, but never go above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pseudoscience-y enough for me. I liked it.
It gave some explanation as to why this was why there was no giant shark just roaming the earth.
Yeah.
And why suddenly there was one.
Yeah, and why there isn't like just a whole entire race of giant sharks too.
Yeah.
Like they kind of...
Well, there might be.
Yeah.
There's already 2 that we know of.
Yeah, there's 2 that we know of, but they also mentioned... Yeah, they're both dead, and they also mentioned that it closed back up.
Yeah. So it's possible that it tries to leave enough room for a sequel.
Yeah, but not like too much room, not like, oh, we're obviously doing a sequel. I like how they ended it, though, with Finn.
Yeah. That was just cheesy enough where I was like, all right, I'll give it to you this time, guys. You can have this one.
But yeah, I really enjoyed the opening of it.
The opening was actually kind of good.
Like with the submarines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. And like there was a lot of character interplay in this film, which is surprising because it's just a giant shark movie.
It's a little bit shocking when you go in there just thinking, I am just here for a giant shark, and then they start dropping characters on you, and it's like, oh, but this person knows this person, this person, this person. I was like, he's the doctor from the first scene, that guy.
Yeah, I was like, oh, she looks. Oh, wait, it's Ruby Rose. Oh,
yeah.
But yeah, like there's a few like Australian. There's a lot. It's got a pretty good Asian cast too.
Yeah, I think part of it might be they're trying to get the movie to do well in China.
Yeah, I think it's also
definitely part of it.
Obviously, because I think it was partially made by a Chinese production company.
Yeah, there's a lot of Chinese actors in there.
But yeah,
I
enjoyed
the
that.
Build actor. Which is cool.
But yeah, so there was a good mix. I liked Rainn Wilson's character.
Here's the thing, I liked him. I was actually really liking him throughout the movie, right up until the last scene he was in.
Oh, when he just gets...
When he dies...
When he goes full billionaire?
Yeah. Seeing him, he was like this kind of charismatic, friendly guy who's just kind of like, yeah, I've spent a lot of money on this and all that kind of stuff. And the last scene he's in is they kill a whale by accident.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we got him. And he's like, go around and fish out some teeth for me. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck this guy. I don't like him so much.
Yeah, see,
there's just something about him, like... in that scene, like just dropping depth charges, and then I don't know, when he died, I thought leading up to that, I was like, fuck, I kind of like this guy, and I hope he doesn't die. And then the scene he did die, I was like, I'll get over it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, you're like, you know, there's an evacuation ship we've told all the governments. I'm like,
yeah, I was into it. I was like, fuck yeah, this guy's doing all right.
Yeah, I was like, oh wow, like a legitimate like person, and like, you know, because he kind of came off as a bit of a tool,
a little bit,
like at the start when he's like, you know, it's got to have a good entrance, and then he like opens up and it's like this massive, like really shiny.
The elevator was really shit though.
Oh, it was. That was probably where they cut from like an actual oil rig to a legit one.
Yeah,
to a legit set.
It was like oil rig all round on the top. You get into like the shittiest elevator ever. Like it's like they told the production company, like the set designer, just make it shit. Just make it like it's covered in rust. The paint's flaking off. That is an elevator leading to a multi-billion-dollar research station.
Yeah.
On the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
Put some effort into it, guys. At least make sure it doesn't clunk around and isn't rusted to all hell.
Yeah, I was actually like I really did enjoy all the set design. I felt like a lot of it was interesting.
It's quite pretty as well.
Yeah.
Like even that opening sequence where you've got the research station and where you've got the seafloor where they're doing they're sending in the submarines. It's all cool. Like once they go down below that layer, it's like, hell, this is a really cool deep sea exploration type thing. Like there's some Blue Planet stuff going on. Like it's cool.
I liked and like you got the whales, and it's like you got them here just for me, didn't you? And it's like, yeah, we may have played a bit of whale.
We may have played a little whale song to pull them over here, like a little, it's a little cheeky,
But my other favorite thing about it was that it reminds me that you just reminded me when you talk about the exploration and stuff. When like Ruby Rose's character mentions to Jason Statham, it's like, oh, I built it, like I designed everything, and then Jason Statham kind of looks at him and goes, okay, so no, it'll work then, and then goes back to what he's doing.
Yeah.
I was like, I like that more because I was like, oh no, this could come off in some sort of sexist way or something. Like this could be played really weirdly, but no, like legit. Like everything about this was super legit. Like nothing was like awful.
Yeah, I mean, well, the movie itself was kind of honestly, I came out perfectly whelmed by this movie.
Yeah,
like I wasn't underwhelmed or overwhelmed in any way.
Yeah.
I went in expecting a ridiculous, schlocky, over-the-top, like Jaws, but Jason Statham's going to have to... like, action Jaws with big Jaws. And I got exactly that. I got Jason Statham fighting a giant shark. Twice.
But see, I actually... I went in, like... I think I saw the poster for it, like, once. I went in pretty much blind, knowing that it was just a giant shark movie. I was like, sure. Let's go.
I pretty much had the opposite, where I did not go in blind. Like I'd heard of this movie, I think maybe a year or two ago, maybe a little bit, maybe even longer ago.
Yeah.
When I think someone had bought it. This started off as a book.
Yeah.
Like a series of books called The Meg, which are about like, this giant megalodon shark, and it's like the adventures of giant megalodon.
Yeah.
And they, the rights to the book were bought, and for a long time it sat around in development hell. Like this has been one of those films where it'd pick up someone and then it would lose everything, and it sat around development hell for a long time.
It doesn't feel like that though. I know, like
this. This thing appeared out of nowhere. Like I'd heard of this a while ago, where it was like, okay, it's this, like someone was talking about this book and this concept, and then they were saying like, yeah, but it's in development hell and it'll never happen. And then a trailer came out one day, and I was
Jason
like,
Statham.
Yeah, and I was like, hang on, they got Jason Statham in this? They're actually making it? And since then I've been following it along, like just seeing what's up. And sure enough, it just looks like some summer blockbuster like shark movie. But sure, it's a shark movie and it's not terrible. It's totally watchable.
Actually, you know what was my least favorite bit about this film?
Shoot.
The kid.
Yeah. I can get behind that. Kids are stupid.
But like they tried to play it off that she was like really like mature for her age.
Yeah.
And then but also at the same time, she was just playing with all her toys and play area is in the middle of a corridor outside like the area.
Like what? How many fathoms underwater? Like,
yeah, why is it
all the way at the bottom of the research base? Seriously, sit on the top, kid. Why aren't there quarters up there? There are quarters up there. Sit up there.
Yeah, no, it's not just that there were quarters, but like when they're having the legit meeting, the kid's in there.
Yeah.
Like, I get that she's like the granddaughter of the dude.
Yeah.
Or like the station chief.
Yeah,
and
she's
also
the daughter and granddaughter of two major people on this expedition.
But I was still like a bit iffy about it because like she was like 8-year-old.
There is a husband in that family. There's a father. Surely, like I get they're divorced, but surely she doesn't have to be this far out underwater. Like this seems kind of inherently dangerous.
Yeah. Like it kind of made sense, but it felt like there was nothing for her. But at the same time, like
she didn't need to be there.
Yeah, and she was like 8-year-olds hit everything. I'm like, oh.
She pretty much did though. She got all the good goss on the station.
Yeah, she did though, because no one really But true, no one really pays attention to like the one kid.
Yeah, like they'd have a serious conversation, turn their heads around, and there she is hanging out over there.
Yeah, and every so often she was part of the reason why they found out about like the shark actually being at the station.
I mean, aside from giant teeth marks, I'm sure someone will walk past that corridor like after it's all shaking and been, oh yeah, no, giant shark, I guess.
I think is it quitting time? Quitting time it is.
Oh, boss, I think I need to take a sick leave for a little bit. Go to shore, never swim again.
Yeah, actually, speaking of swimming,
are you about to say what I'm about to think?
Is it about Jason Statham?
No, but go on.
I was talking about how Jason Statham used to be an Olympic diver.
Oh, okay. That's like the opposite of what I was going to say, but go on.
Also, speaking of swimming again, I found it amusing that they referenced Finding Nemo, but not.
When did they reference Finding Nemo?
Kind of referenced Finding Nemo. When Jason Statham is swimming out the first time, he's like, just keep swimming.
Oh, yeah.
Just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming. Yeah, Dory's thing.
But they didn't reference any of Jaws. Like, obviously.
Did they not reference any of Jaws? Because I know I was sitting there waiting. Like,
I was waiting for them to be like, they're on the boat. I'm like, all right, so we're going to need a bigger boat.
I was waiting for Rainn Wilson to just say, we're going to need a bigger boat.
No, they just end up with a bigger boat.
Yeah, they just had a bigger boat. But I was hanging on that line like, come on, when are they going to drop this? They have to at some
they have
point.
to. This is a shark movie.
This is a shark movie with a colossal shark. Where's the we're going to need a bigger boat? Where's the Nah, none of it.
None of it. And it was actually kind of disappointing. But at the same time, I understand because you're wanting to like stay away from that cheese.
A little bit, but it is cheesy.
Yeah, like the film itself is cheesy.
The film itself is Gouda, you know?
Yeah.
What I was going to say is the black guy can't swim.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Naturally.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot that. Yeah.
Yeah, they just immediately like, they all get capsized into the water. And then it's like, oh, okay, of course this is a thing.
Yeah.
That was when I think that was one of the moments in that movie where I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we are cheesy and shitty. We are going to play to some poor stereotypes.
Yeah, but I just like how I like how they they bring attention to it. It's like, oh yeah, of course. Don't you say about like, you know, me being black about swimming?
Yeah.
It's like I just never thought I'd need to know. My job is inside the station. Inside
the station.
Not in the water. And I'm like, but that's legitimately a thing, though.
Yeah. Speaking of the black guy as well, I can't remember the actor's name or the character's name.
I think his character's name was DJ.
There was a moment in there before they kill the giant shark, before they kill the first giant shark, where he's standing on the back of the boat.
Paige Kennedy.
Where he's standing on the back of the boat, and the camera's got like a mid close up on him. And I swear, and like you can see the water framed behind him.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, that shot went on for so long.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for them to pull a Deep Blue Sea and have the shark just jump up and eat his ass off the top.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it. It was like this moment where it was perfectly set to do that. And it just didn't happen. And I was waiting for it. I was like, he's going to get eaten off the top of the shark. And he survived the whole movie.
So my thing was, I kept waiting for old mate Ruby Rose to die.
Yeah.
Ruby Rose got in the water way too many times not to get eaten.
I didn't pick up on it that much, but I know you were giving me a bit of a talk about this. How many times did she nearly die in this movie?
At least 3 times she ended in the water.
Really?
Yeah. One time when the shark was like pulling the thing, she by herself ended up in the water.
Okay.
Then the doctor pulled her out.
Yep.
And then there was the time when everyone got in the water.
Yep.
And then there was like then there was
when they all bail off the top.
Yeah, and then there was when they all bail off the top. So 3 times she got into that water. Not once did she get hurt. That's like actually like I like Ruby Rose. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like following convention, she should have died. Like theoretically, she should have died.
Yeah. In the scene where they all get like the boat gets capsized because the second giant shark eats the first giant shark off the top of their boat. I feel like the doctor just killed himself.
Yeah.
I feel like that really wasn't necessary at all, but it's just like, hey, giant shark, I'm done living.
I think it was no, because who else was with him? There was someone else with him, and that's why he had to do it. He
didn't have to. I feel like the giant shark was that far away, and nobody else was splashing that much. These just like, no, I'll never make it. Like I feel like everyone in this movie, so many people in this movie have a death wish where they all just want to die. And they all want to die, but they don't want to just kill themselves. They want to kill themselves in some heroic manner. It's not enough for them to die. They have to die sacrificing their lives to the great giant shark in the water for some sort of cause. Like Jason Statham risks his life how many damn times?
Yeah, so
which is the hero, big deal. But actually, so many people like just throw themselves at the giant shark so that someone else lives.
That actually brings me into
how am I getting in the water?
That brings me to another point. I spent a bit of time towards the end, like wondering when the film would finish. Yeah, like I was trying to figure out where like the climax was and the resolution and all that.
Part of the thing that I found was, like I said, an hour into the movie, it kind of does end. Yeah, like when they kill the first giant shark, they go around the room and like have this final bit with all the other characters. Yeah, where it could have feasibly ended with them taking a picture with the giant shark and going home. Yeah, and that would have been it.
Short and then you set up for the sequel, like
like if the moment that second giant shark jumps out of the water, I'm like, all right, buckle in, kids. We got another hour of this shit to go.
But there was nothing to build up to the second shark.
No, there was nothing leading up to that moment. There was one throwaway line super early on where they were like, "We might have just unleashed God knows how many prehistoric monsters on the world," and that was it. Yeah, that was the only inclination we had up to this point. That second shark. So when the second shark just shows up, it's like, well, what the hell is this about? Where did this come from? Why is this happening? It was so, like, just second bigger shark just showing up.
Yeah, it was so, you're right. It was like, wait, it was a bit of, like,
it was what? So, like, out of nowhere in a way. Like, sure, that entire scene, you're expecting it. Like that shark on the boat, dead as a doornail. But the second giant, like, you're expecting it because there's a guy in the water. They're building up the tension for it. Yeah. You know it's going to happen. But it's like, where, aside from that moment, why did they decide to drop a second giant shark on it? There was no, like, lead up to this moment.
Yeah, that was that really got me. I was like, there's a second shark?
Second shark just comes out of the tension built in that scene.
Like, I looked at I was like, all right, I can get around for this. Yeah. I'm like, all right, I suppose. Like, because as I was saying with the whole thing about the, me wondering when this film was going to end, I suddenly realized, like, halfway through the film, oh, that's right, Jason Statham hasn't almost died yet. It's in the entire film.
He has his close call with that first giant shark where it's, like, hanging, like, it's, like, caught on the crane, like, biting at him, and he's, like, an inch away from its mouth.
Yeah, kind of, but not like the injured...
We do get the super close to him. Like, we do get a pretty damn close to him dying.
Yeah, like when he basically fist fights the shark.
Yeah. Oh man, that's peak. Like when you're in the mouth of a shark, that's when you know.
Yeah. But it was just a bit. Yeah, just ended, and I was like, oh. And there was that weird kid that was eating the icy pole.
I want to talk about that scene. When I was watching it, made me think about something that I hadn't thought about until that point.
Yeah.
How much does a shark? That's like what? How long is the megalodon?
They say like. The small one was like 25 meters.
Yeah, it's like a 30-meter long shark.
Yeah.
It's like the biggest thing that exists.
Yeah.
How much does that thing have to eat in order to live? Because sharks are really intensive creatures. They use a lot of energy in just moving quickly and swimming, especially since this is a megalodon, which is basically a scaled-up great white, which is pretty much a long-distance swimming shark. So when it shows up on the beach and you've got hundreds or thousands of people there, I just started thinking in that moment, I was like, these things each person is a little snack to this shark. How many people does it have to eat in order to efficiently gain back energy?
Okay.
Because the amount it expends to eat one person in the earlier scenes, that's a lot. It could probably get more from something else.
The great white sharks eat actually a fair bit.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Although
the primary diet consists of seal.
So 30 kilos for a great white is enough for like 12 days.
Okay.
So that's actually not that much.
So that's not a lot actually, because 30 kilos, that's probably like a relatively small seal. Yeah. And that lasts them nearly 2 weeks of living.
30 kilos of mammal blubber.
Yep.
So that's probably,
a good seal or two.
Yeah, that's probably a few seals.
Yeah.
Yeah, seals have some blubber, but no.
Mm.
But as part of considering it's a megalodon and considering the massive bite it took out of that whale, like it probably would have been all right. It's almost
like I feel like the first scene, like the scene where they kill the first shark. I feel like that shark was expending too much energy. Like, why would it be going after one person? Yeah. Like that's like a blue whale going after a single plankton.
Yeah, they eat krill, not plankton.
Sorry, krill. It just seems so much is expended to get so little.
You're right though. It's a large expenditure, little energy.
And the moment that made me think of that was when the shark, and I feel like it was totally justified, eats the kid in the zorb.
Does he? Oh, he does too. He just bites the.
It like bites the whole zorb and then presses down and it pops. And I was like, thank God that kid deserved it. But it felt like so much energy expended for nothing.
Yeah.
Like there's a huge crowd of people and it leaps over them and grabs a kid in an inflatable ball and eats him.
Yeah, actually that reminds me of something though. I was looking at who the director is, John Turteltaub, who also directed the National Treasure films.
Really?
And The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
How are you only learning about this movie now, and how is it not your favorite?
I don't know, honestly.
Lack of Nicolas Cage, probably.
Yeah, lack of Nicolas Cage. But
how to make a film Alex will love.
But then
Sharknado, Nicolas Cage.
You know how I was talking about the whole kid scene that I didn't quite understand? I've seen him do it before, like similar things. He does do similar.
Is that like a thing he does?
Like in I know he does it in The Sorcerer's Apprentice, where he'll cut to something else to set up more drama.
Yep.
I mean, to be fair,
that's a common cinema convention.
Yeah, it's common cinema thing, but like also that particular kid and why he was still eating the icy pole really confused me. He got in the water with an icy pole. If the mum didn't want him getting in the water, the easy thing to do, you got to wait an hour before swimming. Half an hour before swimming, finish your icy pole, then you go swimming. Not get in the water, still put it in your mouth. I'm like, what?
Hey man, you got multitask sometimes. You got to be in and out of that water. You can't sit around at the beach all day.
Also, that beach looked legit good.
It was a pretty good beach. Too crowded for my liking.
Yeah, but it's like, to be fair, it's in China.
That's true.
A bit more people in China than there are in St. Kilda.
By the way, shout out to the the barges that are set up.
Yeah,
and how everyone just commits to hanging onto them when they're being pulled along by a giant shark.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, there's a shark, and everyone gets on the barges, and it's like, no,
maybe don't do that.
It's like, and how they called out to the girls, come over here, and then
then they just shoot across. That was actually pretty funny. I'll give them credit for that.
Like, see, that's the thing I enjoyed about this movie is that it was like. it wasn't over the top cheesy. Yeah, but it was just that
there
bit
was
cheesy.
enough of cheese sprinkled in there where I was like, oh, that was pretty funny. Like, I'll give you like they're trying to pretend it's so serious.
Yeah,
and everything around these main characters is like super serious.
Yeah,
but it's so dumb outside that, and they kind of let that happen.
Yeah, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's a good way to approach it.
Yeah, rather because that way you keep like all the main drama serious, but without the entire world just being depressing.
Yeah,
because it's not. If it's an apocalypse film, I'd be like, maybe not.
Yeah,
but because it's not, you can have the cheese.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's a giant shark eats people. This is an inherently stupid thing to play around with.
Took a bite out of the Zorb.
Yeah, not just took a bite of it. It ate the whole thing.
Yeah,
whole thing went right.
Like I just hear it pop.
Yeah, there's like a moment where it pauses and like bites down the ball and it's like struggling with it, then just clenches.
Yeah, actually, that reminds me of two things.
Yeah,
the Zorb dude is why you don't help people when they're drowning.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if people can't swim when they're drowning, if you get too close, you drown.
Yeah,
they'll climb on you.
Yeah, they'll pull you down. I just felt like the Zorb dude deserved it. Like everyone's trying to swim away from the shark, and he's sitting there running over the top of them.
Yeah,
on the ball.
That's what I mean. Like he's drowning them basically.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
But at the same time, and then it reminded me of the time where like I was saying about the 8-year-old kid, how I'm not a fan.
Yeah,
the 8-year-old kid saved DJ from drowning.
Yeah,
and I'm like, Jesus. Christ,
shout out to DJ for being a real hero, though, by grabbing her and throwing her off the boat when the helicopter's coming down.
Yeah.
What a champion.
Yeah. Like, legit, though, like, that dude was good. Like, everyone in this wasn't, like, bad.
There weren't too I wasn't a big fan of Bing Bing Lee's character, Suyin, the female lead. I wasn't a big fan of her.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know, I just felt like she was, like, very... Like, there's just a lot of interaction with Jason Statham's character where I was just like, that's a bit harsh. He did just save your life. Don't be too much of an asshole to him.
Yeah.
Whereas just, like, every scene she's just, like, really punishing towards him. It's like, okay, I get you got a thing for him, but
I also kind of
down.
like the bit of the banter when he was like, oh, you know,
I'm all for a bit of banter.
When it's like, if you die, will you feel bad? And she's just like holding
a little,
just a little. I liked that.
And then after he crawls back onto the boat, she's just giving him the same gesture, like just a little bit.
Yeah. And I was like, I found that pretty amusing. I did enjoy that bit. But you're right, she was a bit harsh on him for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
As soon as I found out, although it brings me back to the other character, what's her name? Played by Jessica McNamee.
Oh, is that the Jason Statham's ex-wife character? Yeah.
Oh,
they're both divorcees. I didn't put two and two together there.
Yeah. Who's also an Australian.
Yep.
So the thing that got me was that as soon as I heard she was an ex-wife, I'm like, please don't make it the love interest. Please don't make it the love interest. That's the thing throughout this entire thing. When I heard like, don't pull a Die Hard and make this your love interest.
Like, Jason Statham, we need you to go diving. It's your ex-wife down there. She says you were right. I was like, that's it. He's gonna dive down underwater to try and win her back.
Nope.
Thank God that didn't happen.
But that's one of the things. This film does a lot about like subverting that sort of stuff.
A little bit, yeah.
And it's like, huh.
Neither of the divorced characters tried to get back together with their ex. They were both like, nah, over with them.
Oh, I don't think... Are you talking about Li Bingbing's character?
Yeah.
She wasn't divorced. It was just some dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, because I knew the father was not present and she wasn't having anything to do with him. She
yeah,
was just like, he's somewhere. Don't give a fuck.
It was a yoga instructor in Taiwan or something.
Yeah.
It was something like that. It was like, okay.
Okay, fair enough. Because they were just like uninterested in their previous partner, which is
right.
good.
It was good. Like I did enjoy
Thank God.
that.
Move on, woman.
There wasn't like that pining for
no.
And like,
exactly, he was super professional about it. He's just like, "Yep, saving your asses. Come on, get in the submarine."
It was like Rainn Wilson's character, like subverted the whole billionaire trope
a little bit, but then he kind of fell into it at the end, which is why I didn't like him at the end, because he was going from like the billionaire to then in the last few scenes he was in, he fell into it. Where even though I like the part where it's like, yeah, I've told the Australian government, the Chinese government, the Thai, like he was telling them like how he'd warned everyone that there was a giant shark on the loose and they were mobilizing to deal with the problem. And I was like, wow, okay, yeah, good on him. And then 2 scenes later, we find out he hadn't called anybody and everyone thinks that they're liars.
Yeah.
Like, it just sounds like such a ridiculous concept. It's like, yeah, okay, fair enough, yeah. Telling them you unleashed a giant shark upon the world is pretty unbelievable. That said, you probably could have solved that problem by just sending him a picture of sending him the picture of the guy like with the giant shark mouth. You know,
Yeah, look at this shark. There's a bigger one.
We've got angles of every angle on this shark. There's a bigger one, by the way. It ate the boat. It ate our friend and capsized the boat.
Also, for a marine biologist, she didn't really seem interested in the shark.
You can be interested in it after you're done, like, dealing with the man-eater monster.
And the trauma of the shark.
Yeah.
Always killing you.
Yeah, after you're done coming to terms with the fact that you had a giant shark swallow your friend whole.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't even trying to eat him.
Oh, yeah, but like...
Incidental eating.
As a side note, I did expect, like, there were some characters that I just expected to die, and then they did.
Yeah.
Like Toshi.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw that he's writing a letter for his wife, man, he's not making it.
No, him writing that letter for his wife was him going, all right, this is the end. I'm going to have my heroic death down here.
Yeah, he was
for a bigger cause.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, and they're like, oh, he's going to make it. I'm like, no, Toshi's not making it. The wall went first. The wall is too big. There's a reason he's called the wall.
The wall. Yeah, because he's the barrier blocking Toshi from getting on board the sub.
Toshi from living.
Yeah, he's the wall between Toshi and life.
Yeah, actually, that's the only thing the character is referred to as is the wall. I think he may have an actual name, but I just remember the characters.
The wall.
Yeah, they're talking about the wall and the water and stuff like that. I don't know.
And then he's the one who just gets eaten whole without eating.
Yeah,
like, that's the thing that threw me off. It's like he gets eaten completely by accident. And then everyone else who gets in the water, oh, the shark's desperate for a bit of a meal now.
Yeah, I don't think it's desperate for a meal. It's almost like it's hunting for sport.
Exactly. Sharks don't hunt for sport. They eat for food.
Yeah, or maybe it's just taking advantage of all the food, but like at the same time.
At the same time, it's got another giant shark it's just taking a bite out of. Finish that first. Eat your vegetables, then you can have some dessert.
As a side note, one of the sharks ate the mother humpback whale?
Yeah.
That's not a small animal.
No, it eats that damn thing whole practically.
That was the baby.
Yeah.
They were like, where's its mum gone?
Well, it eats that one, and then half the baby one right there.
Yeah.
Right in front of him, the dick.
Yeah, the baby is like, they're like, oh, where's your mum? Zoom.
Zoom. It just shows up like 3 frames later. They're eating it.
Yeah, and then it just takes a bite out of the glass. I'm like, okay.
It's like how friggin' fast would that thing be able to travel?
Yeah, that thing is
like great
really...
whites are quick. Like I actually did some research on this a while ago where the reason why they don't keep great whites in captivity is because they're fast.
Oh, really?
People have tried where a couple of aquariums have kept great whites in captivity, but the problem is they all die in captivity. And they don't die slowly. They die typically quickly because they're too far. Like they're open water animals.
Yeah.
Not reef swimming animals. They swim in large places.
Yeah.
Like in large ocean, like they cross oceans typically. Yeah. So putting them in a confined enclosure, they tend to smack into the sides of the enclosure a lot. Yeah. So you often see when, like, the moments they put these things in aquariums, they wind up very scratched up and injured very quickly because they're just slamming into the sides of their cage.
Yeah. Actually, as a side note,
so a megalodon being 10 times the size, I imagine would travel considerably quicker.
Yeah. As a side note, that also reminds me of that. Because the thing is, as soon as I saw that the megalodon stopped, I'm like, no, it's dead. Because remember, sharks don't have swim bladders. They need to keep moving to live.
Yep. Yeah.
That's the whole thing about sharks. They don't sleep.
Nope.
That's part of the reason why sharks are intimidating, is that they keep moving.
They're fast, they're terrifying, they're giant monsters able to eat through many things, and they never sleep.
Well, they do kind of sleep, but they keep moving.
Camouflage.
But yeah,
kind of. Well, do they sleep like a dolphin, where they shut down like one eye and then shut down part of their brain, then shut down the other? I
think so. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so that's the whole thing. Like, sharks just keep moving, and so I was like, oh, that one stopped.
More fun facts and a little tie into the end. Are you aware, Alex, that sharks give live birth, where a newborn shark is a full-formed, ready to go hunting shark?
One, it depends on the shark.
True.
Some of them do lay eggs.
Yeah.
Weird
but
shark.
A lot of I know tiger sharks and I think maybe great whites are that way.
Some of them actually have the two sharks basically like go at it within the mother.
Sharks will eat each other in the womb, and the stronger one survives.
Yeah, sharks are really dope. But the thing about that also, now that you reminded me, is all those little sharks that were eating the big whale?
Yeah,
I thought they were baby sharks.
Oh, really? Baby megalodons?
I was like,
I do want to bring this up because at the end of the movie, when Big Jaws dies, like the megalodon dies, and suddenly all these sharks descend out in this feeding frenzy, there's one shot as Jason Statham's booking it out of there where we see a great white or some sort of large shark of some description swim out of the megalodon's mouth.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
What do you like? That could be another shark in the feeding frenzy, but at the same time, when I saw that, I thought to that fact of like sharks giving live birth, and I was like, is that a like fully formed great white, or is that a baby megalodon?
Who knows?
Could go either way.
I
feel like it's opening it up to a sequel potentially.
Yeah.
Like naturally every movie wants to be able to do something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I did enjoy this because it was like self-contained.
Yeah.
Also, the dog at the end. Jason Statham just looks and there's a dog swimming and he's like, all right, whatever.
That giant shark ate my dog. Oh, look, my dog.
Yeah.
Hey, man, Pippin was the real hero, okay? The whole time.
Yeah, especially in Lord of the Rings.
This entire movie is worth, like, a ticket or a watch just for that, one of those closing shot, like the closing shot of the shark fight, where Jason Statham's riding on this shark. It jumps out of the water, and we get the money shot of Jason Statham hanging off the side of a shark's mouth as he pushes a spear into its eye. That's it. That's why you should see this movie.
Yeah, it was actually really...
It's a pretty shot. Like, it's almost shocking that... I mean, for good reason you don't see that in the trailer, but that would have got me to buy a ticket immediately if I'd seen that before.
Yeah. So, yeah, there was that... the whole shark-eating shark thing, I was like, why didn't that happen? Like, you've just got that weird picture of Jason Statham swimming, and there's, like, the shark underneath.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's dope.
This movie actually has some of the coolest posters I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Where it's basically the Jaws poster, but scaled up, where you've got, like, a person swimming, then a great white below them, and then a ginormous shark. At the same time, there's one poster and, like, a shot that they used for a lot of the trailers that really threw me off about this movie.
Oh, yeah?
Which is the, like, shot bird's eye view, looking
the
down
one I'm
onto
talking
this
about.
massive ship.
Yeah.
And then you've got the shadow of the megalodon under that. And it makes it look like the megalodon is a 150 long shark. Like, it makes it look like this thing is gargantuan, like it's a Lovecraftian horror.
Yeah, it's not.
And it's not. So when the second shark shows up out of the water, I was like, is that it? Is that the Lovecraftian horror shark? Like the ginormous? No, it's a little bigger than the other sharks.
See, I like that.
But it's not able to swallow a whole boat.
I like how they didn't go for the whole movie picture thing, because then they would have ended in the snakes on a train incident.
Snakes on a train?
Yeah.
Go on.
So in the movie poster, the movie poster was a snake eating a train.
Yeah.
But so many people got annoyed at the fact that that wasn't the ending, so they're like, oh, we have to do it now.
Define that. So, like, did they reshoot the ending of the movie to be a snake eating the train?
I think so, just for the movie poster.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I know the movie poster for Snakes on a Plane had, like, two snakes, like, wrapping around the plane, like, intertwining it, like Caduceus.
Yeah. Snakes on a Train was... I think it's made by the Asylum.
Oh, okay. That's a different story then.
Oh, yeah.
Snakes on a Plane is a legit movie.
Oh, yeah.
In a way.
Don't get me wrong. So there was a whole bunch of magic in it.
But see, would you have been against a Lovecraftian horror style, like ginormous mega shark? Would you have been entirely against that idea? Like, if they'd gone, like, at the final act, instead of being a second bigger shark, it was a colossal shark big enough to have eaten that boat there on whole. Would you have been do you think that would have made for a better movie or a worse movie?
I think a worse movie.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think, like, the whole idea that it was still within the realm of theoretical realism, like the pseudoscience.
Yeah.
Because if they'd done that massive shark, they would have just thrown it out.
Yeah.
Like, they stuck to their universe, and I enjoyed that.
Fair enough. Because it was within... Having it be a megalodon is within the realm of possibility. That's a creature that once lived. It's a creature we can reconstruct.
We find megalodon teeth and they're like the size of my palm.
Yeah.
That's huge and messed up.
Yeah. Terrifying, truly. Yeah, so it's a cool what if question.
Yeah, about the snakes on the train thing, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Japanese investors saw the film's poster and asked if there was really a giant snake eating a train, which was not originally part of the film. In response, the co-producer had his crew in LA make the scene.
See, a better way to do that would have been like, your investor asks that and you say, hey, for $500,000 more it could be. Yeah,
potentially. Yeah, they did, so that way Japanese audiences would enjoy the film.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
List of killer snake films. Weird. Anyway, not important.
Yeah.
Maybe another season.
Another season. Giant snake movie.
Snake films.
I was entertaining the idea of Croctober. But really,
Croctober is just us all watching films while wearing Crocs.
That'll never happen on my watch, Alex. You'll have to kill me before you can have that on my show.
Oh man, you better believe it's gonna happen.
Back off, B. I got this.
But yeah, like as I was saying, there's a whole bunch of like it does subvert. It's a bit cheesy. It's enjoyable though.
It's honestly, it's fun. Like I went into this expecting total garbage.
Yeah.
And I didn't get complete garbage.
No.
I got garbage, but it was a fun kind of garbage.
Yeah, it was the enjoyable garbage you expect from a giant shark movie.
Yeah, exactly. If you want like a cheesy, schlocky movie that you can just go to and like laugh about afterwards and be like, wasn't that ridiculous? The part where like giant shark and Jason Statham punches it in the face a couple times. Sure, watch this movie. It's perfect for that. Anyway, join us next week as we're going to downsize to the original killer shark with Jaws.
Dun,
dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun.
Actually, I think I heard them play some of that in Meg.
Really?
I got like similar hints to it. Like when the shark was like just the fin, I felt like I got a bit of the dun dun.
Ah, yeah.
Dun dun.
That's the perfect time to drop it when it's circling around.
Yeah, like I got a bit of that, and I'd forgotten about that until right now. But I think it was just a subtle call out to it.
Yeah, it would have been. Anyway, that'll be next week as we watch Jaws.